Your personal style is part of your identity. It's a first impression. It sets a tone for a moment, and it truly dictates how you feel in your own skin and your clothes. But finding what works for you can be overwhelming. Our next guest, though, has found the science of style. Arisha Symes is a master stylist and a founder of Unfoldid. Arisha, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Hi.
Hi. So let's talk about your style formula and how this came to be.
Yes, well, it's one of those things where so many people struggle with getting dressed, and it really shouldn't be that way, but it happens. And so that's where the style formula came about, is to try to demystify and simplify just figuring out what to wear every morning.
Okay, so how does it work? How does someone figure this out?
So there is, style is not just a gene that you're born with. There is an art and a science to getting dressed and finding the right pieces. And that's where the style formula comes in. It really kind of creates formulaic ways of looking at things like your proportions, your color, and your lifestyle, and what is actually going to work so that you can build a wardrobe that kind of works across your whole life and makes it easy to get dressed every morning.
I love that. So how do you figure out what your color palette is, or your body architecture and all of these things?
Right. So that's the thing. It's actually not that difficult to figure out, but there's just so much information out there. The key is taking the time to understand, what are my proportions, right? Are my legs longer than my torso? What is my best color palette? Because once you have that information, and you can get that through my book, we have online courses working with a stylist, right? You have that information. Now you're armed to go out and shop and find those pieces that actually work for you.
All right, and talking about shopping, these trends, people want to follow them, but there's something to be said about some classic staple pieces. How do you make both of these work?
Absolutely. Well, that's the thing. Once you have kind of your style ID, so once you truly understand your proportions, what cuts work for you and what colors work for you, now you also have kind of that lens, as I see it, to kind of process all the information that is out there, right? We are inundated with influencers and all the style information from brands and YouTube. So there's a lot of information out there, but you have to filter through it through the lens of what you need and what actually works for you. So that is also what allows us to kind of incorporate trends in a way that works for us, understanding kind of those key components of color, cut, and style that works. Allows us actually more freedom to play with trends and play with the art side of dressing. That's one of the things that I love about it.
I'm like, fashion is my favorite art. I'm going to say that
Right?
full on. So let's talk about shopping online, impulse shopping. We've all been there scrolling on Amazon at night and being like, ooh, I need this. How does this formula help you figure out this might work for me? I mean, even if you're not there to try it on.
Right. So that's the thing with your style ID. What we do is we synthesize it down to, okay, what cuts work for me? So, for example, what neckline is best for me? Should I be wearing V-necks or boat necks or U-necks, right? So once again, you have that information. The best thing about online shopping now is you can now go in and actually put that information right into those filter options. So when you're online and scrolling around, you have that information specific to you that allows you to kind of filter those choices so you don't end up with boxes full of things that maybe even they fit, but they don't actually work. I love it when my clients text me and they say, I'm at the store and I'm flipping past all the things, the necklines that you said don't work, the rises that you said don't work, and I'm only taking a small group of clothing into the fitting room. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then quickly talk about some common myths and how you debunk them as far as like dressing for age and things like that.
Right. I mean, age appropriate is a huge topic. To me, it has always been. Age appropriate is a thing, but it's relative to every age, right? It's the idea of it's not what you wear, but how you wear it. Right. So I think people tend to think of age appropriate as like, ooh, when you reach a certain age, you can't wear things. That is so not true. It's not age appropriate. It's, environment appropriate. It's your silhouette appropriate. Right. So how you wear things is all it's about. It's not about the age, and knowing what works for you and knowing what's appropriate for your lifestyle and your situation. But I would say one of my favorite is the black pants myth, because really, it's not about black pants being magical. It's simply that black draws the attention less. So wherever you wear black, you will have less attention. So if you want to downplay your lower half, great, wear those black pants. If you want your shoulders to be de-emphasized and look a little bit narrower, then you should be actually be wearing a black top and maybe a brighter pant. So that's one of those kind of fashion rules where we're given the rule, but not really the tool as to how that works. It's really about how black impacts your silhouette.
All right, I love it. So you get the rules and the tools in your book. People can find that anywhere books are sold?
Yes, absolutely. Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
out there. Thank you
Arisha,
so much.
thank you so much. You want to learn more? Unfoldid.com or arishasine.com or follow her on Instagram. We'll be right back.